We're going to be finding the formula for area of a circle. First, getting our brains warmed up. What is the appropriate measure for the following situations? So if we're talking about amount of carpet needed for a bedroom, the best unit would be feet squared, yards squared, or meters squared, since we are talking about area of a room, so we should have something square. The distance from where you live to a summer camp on a lake. The best way to probably explain that would be for miles or kilometers. What is the appropriate measurement for the length of a dollar bill? That would be inches or centimeters. The amount of wrapping paper you would need to wrap a present. That would be our area as well, or we could say our length, so meters or centimeters. What about the amount of juice the average person drinks in a week? Cups, gallons, or liters? And the volume of cubes that could be stacked in a desk drawer to fill every space, and that would be our centimeters cubed. In your math journal today, you're going to be taking a look at a circle, and the first part is going to be a review from the last couple of days. Remember that the diameter is the distance from one side of the circle through the other to the other side through the middle. It doesn't quite matter how we get there as long as we do go through the middle. So this could be our diameter. I could also go ahead and trying to move it. We could also say that this could be our diameter, or this could be our diameter as long as it goes through that center point. Remember that our radius is very similar to our diameter, except for that it's only going to go from the center of the circle outward. So I'm going to show you a couple lines that we could do. As long as it goes from the outer edge into the center, all of those would be the radius, and all of them are going to be the same length. Now it's going to come down to circumference. Circumference is a review from yesterday's lesson. Remember, circumference is the distance around the circle, and the easiest way, instead of getting a string and measuring it and then flattening it out, an easy way to do it is pi times d, or our diameter. Remember that pi stands for that number that goes on and on and on. It stands for 3.14. And so we take 3.14 times our diameter, which is the distance all the way across. Now today we're going to be taking that knowledge and we're going to take it one step further. We were working on the perimeter, or the distance around, and today we're going to be finding all of the inside. I'm going back to Unit 9 when we were finding the area for rectangles. We did base times height to find our area, or how much was in the inside. Today we are going to find that the formula, which is something that's important that we should include in our notes, is the area of a circle is equal to pi times radius squared. The R stands for radius. Now remember, when we see this little square button, it doesn't tell us to times it by 2. What it tells us to do is to multiply it by itself. So if we had a circle, I'll just go ahead and grab one here. If we had a circle and our diameter, let's just say this, or excuse me, our radius was equal to 3. Okay, we're going to use that formula from that page before where it says that pi times radius squared. So if we have a radius of 3, 3 squared would be 3 times 3, which is equal to 9. And then we would have to do 9 times pi. Well, we can just simplify it to 3 right now, rounding 3.14 to 3. 9 times 3 is 27. So the area of the circle would be 27 units squared. Now, if I were to go ahead and change our circle a little bit, make it a little bit larger, and now maybe the radius is 5. The formula for finding area, for finding out all the inside, would be 5 squared, so 5 times 5, which is 25, times 3.14, or we can round it to 3, 25 times 3, thinking about our quarters, 25 plus 25 plus 25 is 75, so it would be 75 units squared. Now, if we're reviewing from yesterday's lesson, remember that pi times diameter would equal our circumference. So if we're taking a look at this example, our diameter is not going to be 5, but instead it is going to be 10, because the radius is, or the diameter is double the radius. So 5 times 2 is 10. 10 times pi, which we can say is 3. 10 times 3 is 30. And if we do one more example, maybe make it a really small circle. Maybe we would say the radius is 1. So 1 times 1 is 1 times pi, which is 3.14, or we can just put it to 3. 1 times 3 is 3, so our area would be 3 units squared. If we're taking a look at our circumference, or our distance around our diameter, we would double this, would be 2, and 2 times 3 is 6. So our circumference, or distance around, would be 6. If you follow the instructions and really think about this formula that we have to find area, which pi times radius squared, if you follow that direction and make sure that you do radius squared, not radius times 2, you will be successful in today's lesson.